should I say, like writing cold email strategies, but I should say the tools which I had in my hand were not actually working properly, so I had to close that particular session if I talk about. And let me put this as close as possible. Yes, I hope first of all I'm loud and clear. Let me quickly check on my channel. I'll just quickly come here. I'll say your channel, and obviously guys, if you have not yet subscribed, that would be great if you can. That would actually help encourage the team which we are having right now with us. And obviously I'm on mute. What should I say? Yeah, so I'm quite audible. A different setup today. We are facing some, office things which happens usually. Anyways, let's quickly get started. So the question is, I'm a fresher right now. I'm looking for internships. I'm a fresher right now, and I don't have any experience. What should I do? This is very important, and this is quite genuinely important, because as a recruiter, I'll give you first of all the approach of a recruiter. When I'm hiring someone, and if they don't have any experience, I have to obviously answer to other people. Like I have to answer the senior team, I have to answer my senior recruiters, I have to answer so many people. So obviously I'm in back foot a bit. Why am I on a back foot? Because it's kind of a gamble I'm taking right now. So it is a bit difficult for us as a recruiter, like technically if I'll speak, to actually play a gamble on that particular person if you are not aware of anything. Like it's totally out of a blue you have worked there. So obviously now I'm a fresher student. Obviously if you're not going to hire me, I'm not going to have any experience. If I'm not going to have any experience, how will I show that I have experience? And since I have just completed my graduation, how will I bring experience? Sir, can you please tell me? So let's try to understand how you can solve this chicken and egg problem. What comes first, chicken or an egg? This is the kind of a question is there. If I don't have experience, how will I get a job? If I don't have a job, how will I get experience? Kind of an issue. So obviously this particular live is obviously for all the people who have no experience and right now looking for a job. So let's try to understand what you should be doing. First of all, you should not sit idle. Okay, what do I mean by sitting idle? If you're going to just sit idle and you will say, okay, I don't have any job right now, I don't have any experience right now, what should I do? I mean, should I, like, I'm not looking for anything because obviously I don't have any experience, so why should I bother that? The answer is quite obviously no. The possibilities which can happen on this planet of Earth are immense. So you have to mention and you have to understand that things can happen for you. So first of all, you don't have to get demotivated just because you don't have any experience and you need a job. That does not mean that you cannot actually get any job. We will talk about that. So first of all, you don't have to sit. Okay, I have someone with me right now. Okay, obviously if you have some question, put them in the comment. This is the place where I would be obviously getting your question and I will be answering your queries. Secondly, you should be constantly building projects. Okay, what do I mean by building projects? Okay, I don't have a project. How can I build a project? If you're a web developer, build an e-commerce store. If you're an Android developer, build an Android application. If you have something related to cloud computing, do something related to cloud computing. If you have done something related to machine learning, build projects on machine learning. If you have done something related to big data, showcase that, create a dashboard, and upload all this work on GitHub. Why? Because that will show to the potential recruiter that even if you don't have any experience right now, you are actually a hard-working person. We can take a gamble on you. Again, I'll repeat. When you start uploading the projects which you are doing, which are available, which can be seen on the internet, you can actually show to the potential recruiter that even though you don't have any experience, that does not mean that you're going to sit idle and you're not going to do anything about it. You won't believe how many people I've interviewed for the various roles of Android application development, for the roles of web development or whatnot. They say, sir, I have built this e-commerce website. I say, can I see it online? The answer is no, unfortunately we cannot show you because I don't have a hosting. So I say, don't you have any alternative options? So they say no. The answer is not no. The answer is yes, I have a website. I cannot host it online. So what I have done, I've actually hosted the source code on the internet of I've hosted the source code on GitHub. Now what it does, it actually gives me an understanding, okay, where you are right now. In the previous live, also in the last live, if I talk about, we discussed on the same scenario. If you are looking for a kind of a job or an internship, you should be uploading your stuff on GitHub. Why I'm saying this? Because GitHub is something which a person can see at 2 a.m. in the morning. GitHub is a thing which a person can see at 7 a.m. in the morning. Maybe let's say you're shooting a cold email. I'll come to that videos. I'll come to those videos. Let's say if you're shooting a random email, what you would be doing? That person, if reading that email on 7 a.m. decides, okay, this person has done something, let's look into his GitHub profile, and he found, okay, you're doing actually something which we are looking for. So your chances of getting recruited without experience gets better. Just a second, let me have water. Okay, so as I mentioned, if you don't have any experience, that does not mean that you cannot get a job, you cannot get an internship. It simply means that you have not yet worked hard a bit. So don't sit idle, do the projects and make sure the projects are visible. Like let's say if you have done something, if you have a GitHub profile right now, if you post the GitHub profile right now, I'll open this right in front of you and I can see and I can tell you, okay, if you are a kind of a person who can get a job or not. Because through that GitHub profile, I can understand, okay, this person has a quite capability, this person can actually work on a lot of things, this person can do a lot of things because he has already done this in past. Third thing is obviously reaching out to recruiters and saying, I don't have any experience, I'm Avinash Seth, I don't have any experience, but in past I have completed these 3 projects which are quite similar to what kind of a positions you are hiring. I'm working on these technologies, technology 1, technology 2, technology 3, technology 4, and I saw in the various job descriptions that you're hiring for these positions with these technology. So why don't you actually look into my profile and say, give it a look. This is my GitHub. You can go there and you can actually audit my source code if I may. You can audit my repositories and you can understand if I'm actually a worthy person or not. So, as I mentioned, when you do this kind of a stuff, even if you don't have any experience, you will start getting jobs. Internships, job, or whatever that is. Why? Is this a magic? Is this a magical sword? Well, the answer is no. The quite obvious thing is that what happens when someone sees, we all are human beings. We understand. Like if you come to me and say that Avinash, I don't have any experience, I'm not going to be like a person and I'll say, hey, you don't have any experience, why would I hire? I'll try to understand, okay, if you don't have any experience, I'll look into your college, from where you have completed your education, even though that does not make any difference, but yes, I'll look into that. I'll look into your grades, does not matter, and I'll ask you, okay, what you have done, what kind of projects you have done, what kind of an internships you have completed, what kind of projects you are working on right now, what kind of a technology you are learning. And if the answer is quite simple, no, I have not done anything, well, in that scenario, obviously nobody can hire you. So you have to understand, okay, so you have to understand that this is something which is going to be a deal breaker for you. So if you don't have any experience, the best thing you can do is get up, don't demotivate yourself, start building projects, start hosting them on GitHub, and then third point is obviously reaching out to the potential recruiter, because obviously if you're not going to reach out to potential recruiter, your chances of getting hired are going to get decreased. Fine. So this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing if you don't have any experience. This is the simplest thing you can do. The second thing which usually people say, like, can I actually work in a separate field? If I don't have any experience, can I work in a separate field? So obviously for that we are going to come for a separate live, because this is something which I don't want to discuss right now, because obviously as a fresher I have various questions around it, or maybe some confusion around it, so I'm not sure what should I be doing. So let's talk in very simple sense. Let's focus on the getting job ready, or I should say getting a job with no experience. Very simple steps. I'll actually put them in the comments, so that in case if you want to see. So I'll say like at 9:48. Yeah. So the first point is don't demotivate yourself. The second, okay, it did not go well. I'm just learning this. The second point is obviously upload your projects on GitHub so others can see. The third point is quite simple, and that is reach out to potential recruiters with your job application. Recruiters with your job application. Okay, so try to understand that these are very three simple steps which you have to take. Now obviously I'm not receiving any questions from you guys right now. If you have some questions, obviously I'm waiting for those questions, if they can come in front of me, so that it's going to actually help me answer those queries. Otherwise obviously this is going to be a very boring live session if I talk about in front of me, so that it's going to actually help. It's going to be a very boring live session if I talk about, being very honest. Anyways, if you have any questions, put them in the comment. I will be making sure that I'm coming live every single day at 7 p.m. to answer all your queries related to career. So this is it for this video, guys. Let's make it big this time.